has been a school year like no other. Over at Hunter College, the school has worked hard to keep thousands of students engaged and in school remotely during the pandemic. Now that summer is here, the president of Hunter College, Jennifer Raab, says there are ways to work towards college degrees even if internships, summer jobs, and schools look different. Jennifer Raab joins us this morning. Nice to have you with us. What was it like to pivot Hunter College in the middle of this pandemic?
It was, as you said, an experience like no other, but we're so proud. 3,000 classes went to remote learning and students went on Zoom, and we had to pivot. We really had to work because so many of our students did not have the technology they needed or even the internet capacity. So we reached out, we found them computers, and we did a lot of faculty training because college professors are often not used to working remotely and teaching on computers.
So now kids are out for the summer, but you are offering summer courses. Now, a lot of times these kids would get summer jobs to help pay for the courses. How's this working out?
About in April, we recognized, Rosanna, that the jobs were not going to be there. The internships our students relied on, whether in political offices or nonprofits or in businesses, were not going to be available. And even the babysitting jobs, the lifeguard jobs. So we got ahead of them and we said to them, students, go to school this summer. Use the summer to move your education forward. We raised $1 million, so we gave scholarships to thousands of students so they could keep their eye on the prize and move to get that degree. So this summer school for us is up 40% as we start to plan for the fall.
That's fantastic. Is there still scholarship money left that people can apply for at this point?
We're always getting more scholarship money, but we always need more. Another thing we did this summer is said to our graduating class, jobs are going to be hard. So why don't you think about your next step? And we created new classes. Think about being a teacher. What does it take to be a social worker? So that we could get our students interested in master's degrees, and we're looking at an uptick in graduate admissions as well. Because the students know this is the right time to stay in school and advance your education, even right now if we're remote.
So you have a very diverse student body, and I would imagine some of your students didn't have the technology to kind of keep up with this, newfound remote learning. How did you deal with that, and also with the problem of, being food challenged?
It was quite a challenge for our students. Not only did many of them not have the technology, they didn't have the technology they thought they had. So for example, they may have had a computer, then all of a sudden mom and dad and little brother were home with them and everyone had to share. That doesn't work if you have a Zoom class at 10 o'clock. So we started to lend laptops, and then we created a mobile system where we went out to neighborhoods. We used our geographic information systems to find where the clusters of Hunter students lived. We brought them laptops, we brought them emergency food from our food pantry, and we brought them Wi-Fi boosters, because that's another issue for our students. Do you have the right access? But it remains a challenge. Many of our students live in crowded apartments, and you need to find a private space to take your class. So we're looking forward to ways in which we can begin to think about bringing our students back and getting back to normal.
Do you have any idea what September will look like at this point? I know some colleges are coming out in dribs and drabs and talking about doing maybe a combination of remote learning and in-class. Has Hunter decided anything yet?
Well, as you said, it's a very fluid situation, and we're very lucky. As a state school, we are under the regulation of our wonderful governor, who really got us through the pandemic with such safety. And that's the same way we're approaching it now. So we're planning. There are some things where we think we will rely on remote learning. You know, Hunter, we call it affectionately a vertical campus. That means our elevators are packed. Your viewers see throngs of students on those bridges. So to the extent we can reduce crowding when we go back, we know we're going to rely more on remote learning, and we're getting our faculty ready. Summer is school for this faculty as well, where they learn the best practices. But there are some things, Rosanna, that are just better in person, and we're recognizing that. So our scientists are slowly planning to come back to their labs, again, with safety precautions. We're looking at how do we bring students back to labs to learn. We have virtual software to learn lab skills, but that's not the same as touching a test tube. Our artists are asking, please, can we come back to our studios? We want to paint on big canvases and make big sculptures, and that doesn't work in a small Brooklyn apartment. And finally, our nurses and our physical therapy students, they need those clinical skills. They need to be back in the simulation labs with robotic patients who mimic symptoms. So there's some things where we're really trying to think now, how can you safely bring back students? How can you social distance, use masks, use protective gears, but slowly think about those clinical skills, the arts, the sciences, where it's just harder to do things in remote. So as you said, it's fluid, but we're planning to think about what is the most important thing to bring back to a campus and how can we do that safely.
Well, we wish you the very best. You are our neighbor here at Fox 5. And Jennifer Raab, we always appreciate you being on Good Day New York. Thank you.
Thank you, and it's wonderful to be able to be with you this morning, and we look forward to seeing you in person and back at Hunter College.
Same here. Okay. Good luck.